politics as we have it has not defined it as being related to any political party. Hence, it is talking about striving and getting a life to live, even out of nothing. Either strive to get power and control resources. Of course, that takes us to governance or government. What is the essence of government? There is something we call social contract. That is the agreement between the ruled and the rulers. Fine. Like I said earlier on, people they have their own right to question who are leading them, and the leaders as well. They also have the responsibility of answering those questions. Of course, let's just oppose everything. So today, that is why we brought somebody, a gubernatorial candidate, once in this our own Kwara state. Of course, the profile is there is a barrister and a politician. Barrister Paul Ajiroba is live in the studio with us. So the show is the platform with me, Ayla Kolawole Abbas, popularly known as the legend on Moine TV. If you want to have more interesting programs, you can kindly subscribe to Moine TV on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll be back after this time out. You're welcome back to the show, the platform. Like I said earlier on, that we have Barrister Paul Ajiroba, once a gubernatorial candidate in the state of Kwara. You're welcome to the show, Barrister.
Thank you, the anchor, and thank you, the management of this online TV. I so much appreciate your invitation.
Thank you. And we are so glad to have you on board as well. Now, to start with, although we've introduced you by Mr. Paul Ajiroba, you must have had a lot of experience because it's not easy to be a gubernatorial candidate. That is somebody who has contested for the governorship of this Kwara state. If I'm not mistaken, as a young man, what actually challenged you? Is there any kind of challenge that took you to that level that I really want to take the bull by the horn?
Truly speaking, I've been a leader, a servant leader since my primary school days.
Mm.
I didn't just start yesterday or last year. Up to the secondary school level, I was once a leader as well. To my university days, I served in several capacities from my first year to the last year, up to the level of law school and my NYC as well. But I thought of it in 2019, 2018 to be precise, that we need a new level of governance in Nigeria. Let the young ones rule, not too young to rule. And I participated a lot in the campaign for the young, not young to run, that was signed and passed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2018. That reduced the ages of elective offices from the House of Assembly, House of Reps, Senate, up to even gubernatorial. And I saw it that this is an opportunity for me as well to contest in the 2019 gubernatorial elections. We did our campaign in Kwara State. The youth loved us because I was the youngest amongst all. I was the youngest amongst all the gubernatorial candidates. So that is what really prompted me to contest as one of the gubernatorial candidates in Kwara State in 2019 election. And notwithstanding as well, I've been my area of calling is service to humanity.
So you have that calling.
I have calling. It is a calling. It's a calling. I don't just follow people sheepishly, but I believe that you must be distinct and distinguished in your area of calling. So when you see me outside talking, relating with people, is a calling, not just by training alone. It's a calling from God. And I believe what God has destined you to do, the calling you have passion for it. That's why I went for the race and I contested as well. Although we have so many people saying, a young man like you. I said, is it when I'm 70 I will start doing this?
Of of course, I saw that on TV that very day we were counting the election. I was with the TV, and when I heard your name, Paul Ajiroba, I know, oh, I have to let me count along with this guy, though, but I would like to disclose the figure right here, actually. So maybe we just have to a little bit take a look at another question, which is now you've talked about the Not to Run to Rule bill that was passed, and that actually favored you, right? Now, in a short while, we are still having one or two elections coming forth in Nigeria. We have that of Edo State tomorrow, and we have Ondo State in a few weeks' time. Now, he's talking about in one way or the other. There's no way we can talk about those elections without talking about political instability in this our country, Nigeria. So, what are the effects of political instability in Nigeria?
Truly speaking, political instability in Nigeria has caused a lot of things negatively, particularly to Nigerians, in terms of hunger.
Hunger.
There's hunger in the land
Hmm.
because, if there's no consistency in anything you do in life, you are bound to see the negative side of it.
Hmm.
And that's the major challenges we are facing in this country as a whole.
Hmm.
Now, I moved from PDP to APC, APC to PDP. Some doesn't even have what we call political ideology.
Hmm.
So by that, it brings hunger to the society, insecurity to the society, even lack of confidence in the members of the society.
Hmm.
And you yourself, it subjects you to all sort of pressure from the so-called political bigwigs in the society, which ordinarily it should not be. And in my view, I think that we should find a way of resolving the idea of political instability in this country
Okay.
because it's not pushing the system forward. It's not pushing the system forward. Rather, one way or the other, we've had like 21 years of unbroken democracy now.
21 years.
And Nigeria will celebrate our Diamond Jubilee
Next
very,
month.
very soon, next month.
Yeah.
Yes, some people may compare us to other nations that when do we start.
Yeah.
But even we are 21 years now, you should have graduated from our institution.
Definitely.
So I think there should be an improvement, not that we should just a step forward and two step backwards.
Barrister, sorry for pausing. Before we go any further, you talked about political ideology the other time. Yeah. So that's a very interesting point that we like us to just expatiate on it a little bit. But before we go into that, the show is the platform on Moinet TV. We'll be right back after this time out. Show is the platform, and we've been on the hot seat with Barrister Paul Ajiroba answering those questions as a politician by excellence. Now, Barrister, before we went for that short break, we were talking about the instability in the country, political instability as well, the insecurity, all this and all that. But before, I think you still have one or two things to say about the situation of Nigeria, either in terms of economy, even the COVID-19. But as it is now, what do you think can be the solutions to these problems you earlier mentioned?
We need discipline in this country.
Okay.
Let's be sincere with ourselves. The first problem we have in this country is we are too indisciplined. Starting from the, let me say, grassroots to the top. Here in Nigeria, I know that we pray for concern everything that we ought not to pray for.
Okay.
For instance, let me give you an example. A staff of a particular place ought to get to his workplace by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You are still on the bed by 7:30 a.m.
How do you make it?
That staff can still be praying, God, let me get to my workplace by 8 a.m. Is it magic you want to perform or what?
You want to disappear.
Or you want to disappear? We have a lot of negligence of duty. We have a lot of nonchalant attitude, which ordinarily we should change. We should change.
Are you talking about the mantra of the current political party now that is
Now let me now bring it.
which is change?
The idea of this so-called indiscipline started from individual homes, and it has now been channeled to the so-called political party system, even to leadership system.
Hmm.
You see, once you are not disciplined from your local place, locality,
Yeah.
there is no place you get to, then you not the level of indiscipline we show, we reflect on it. And that's what we have in our democracy, even the party system, in politics,
Discipline.
indiscipline everywhere. Go to a particular place as a politician campaign. The next thing is that, do you bring a bag of semo for us? Where's our bag of rice?
Rice. Yeah. I think I've even
No
witnessed
semo, no votes.
no someone. I've even witnessed
The election is coming up in Edo State tomorrow. If I don't collect 3,000, 5,000, I'm not voting.
that's the system.
So it is both to the leadership, to the leaders, and to the so-called followers, to the rule and to the rulers, to the subject. I mean to say. So the first thing is that we must be disciplined in this country. We lack discipline. Let me use that word. We lack discipline. Now, tomorrow is the election in Edo State. I'm very sure, I've once been in the race. I'm very sure there will be some INEC officers that ought to get to their workplace by their voting units, or where they will perform the official function by 7:30 in the morning. Some will not get to that place at the appropriate time.
Sorry to cut in, Barrister, before I forget. You did mention, what do you call it the other time? People, going for semo, rice, bread, plus other things, and sell their votes cheaply for food. But there's this thing people are saying, which I've seen as well, but I don't know how true it is, and I don't know how sincere you're going to be about it, that politicians, especially maybe Africa or Nigeria, they have this way of impoverishing the people. They take away their rights, they impoverish them. They are now poor to the extent that they can give their vote for even a sachet water as a result of hunger.
That's the truth. You see, a leader sometimes is the way the system is structured that the leadership will be. We are so stigmatized to the extent that in Nigerian politics, you can't win an election on a platter of gold of integrity alone. Let me use that word.
Okay.
Integrity in one sense. If you don't lobby your way from Mr. A to Mr. B to Mr. C to even get to ticket, even down to the masses. Because the masses believe that once they don't get the same at that appropriate time, once you win the election, you are unaccessible again. And that's where the problem comes from. So it is not difficult for us to hold our leaders accountable. It's not difficult for. So now, a governorship candidate that won an election, at the end of the day, he spent like billions of naira in winning the election. Now, and he knows that we spent like 4 years in that office. Truly speaking, we'll be thinking of how the money has spent. It will come back, even not with profits.
Sorry, Barrister, I even heard that there are some candidates who take loans, huge loans, to contest election.
That's just the truth. Some sell their houses, some sell their assets. Because, you see, the system we practice is the system that determines the mode of action. And that is why you see, in Nigerian politics, is a game of highest bidder.
Yes.
It's a game of highest bidder. People doesn't listen to manifesto you have again in Nigeria. What do you have to offer us? Is Ghana must go? Is it there? If it's not there, if you like, you should speak more than Abraham Lincoln. You are on your own in this country.
Even on the streets, there is this line they normally use for Nigerian system of politics now. They will call it where belle face politics.
Now, stomach infrastructure.
Stomach infrastructure. So if I don't chop, don't worry, I give you my vote.
That's just. I don't see any reason that. I believe that democracy. Every one of us in this country, we have like 200 million population, should enjoy the dividend of democracy. The level we enjoy it, Mr. A will enjoy it may be different from Mr. B. Let me give you an explanation.
Okay.
Now, an average Nigerian is entitled to good road.
Definitely.
Let us count how many good roads we have in this country. It's only the governors that we always blame. It's only the president we always blame in this country. What of our House of Assembly members
Definitely.
that have constituency projects to do?
Yes.
What of our House of Rep members? 360
Yes.
in this country. In Kwara alone, we have six House of Reps member.
Yes.
Each senatorial candidate have two. Kwara South two,
Okay.
Kwara Central two, Kwara North
North.
two. And we have three senators representing each state. 109. And
Yes.
at the end of the day, you will see that after so many campaigns, it's only the governor and the president we always blame. What of all these so-called lawmakers and have constituency projects? Now, good roads. I always say, in my view, people always rate so in order of priority
Okay.
that the first thing is earth. I agree. But after that, I think the next thing is you have good roads.
Yeah.
No matter who you are in a particular society, you must ply through a road.
Definitely.
Whether you are the upper class, the middle class, or the lower class.
Those
Those are basic things we need in this country.
Barrister, very, very understandable that you have a lot to say. In fact, we have no choice. We need to bring you to the studio next time. But conclusively, Barrister, just in a short form, don't you think Nigerian government politics is over monetized?
The language of people over monetizing Nigerian politics, I think, is an understatement. If there's any other language we can use.
Okay.
If you see the money that some use in getting the ticket, party ticket
Just
alone,
ticket.
not that you have been engaged by INEC. Let me say, your name is already on INEC.
You're not even campaigning yet.
To even get ticket alone
from the party.
You will know that are we still practicing democracy? We should practice it.
In fact, we still have a lot to talk about, definitely. All right, and you'll be listening to Barrister Paul Ajiroba Saint. I hope you've gained a lot and you've derived a lot from his information that he has given to us in the studio. Of course, we always bring him again so that you can hear more from him and other political gladiators around to know about what is going on in our society, because information is very, very important. The show is The Platform. I am Ainda Kolawole Abbas, the legend. For Moinet TV, kindly subscribe to Moinet TV on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The Platform. See you again next time. Bye for now. Bye, stop off.
She will try, sir.